Do you guys honestly think that the facility in CERN is just colliding particles and trying to find the God particle, or do you think that there's something more nefarious going on? Because I started to research them after I read the book, The Hermetic Code in DNA, and I swear that everything that's written in that book, CERN is actually trying to rediscover, and I think that the goddess or god of Shiva, like the statue that they have in front, is actually a symbol of that. I know it sounds insane, but let me just start off with the Kabbalistic tree of, Illuminati and how deep Switzerland is actually into it, and I think that's why they chose Switzerland as their location. So if we look at the Kabbalistic tree of life and also the Illuminati and how everything is set up, you see Switzerland is just smack in the middle right there. And the black nobility, which basically is the ones who run the 13 families, then you will see their top 13 family last name called the Merovingians. Now, I made a 14-minute video on the pyramid scheme of the 13 families in Europe and the 13 families in North America that run them. And the Merovingians were the top of Europe, but they also have a family called the Medicis that run the Illuminati in Europe. And lo and behold, CERN actually has an experiment named after it. CERN's Medici's facility is producing novel radioscopes for medical research. Isn't that interesting? They also have another one called the Awake, which is the Advanced Wakefield Experiment at CERN. According to CERN, these are just acronyms. It just so happened that the Medicis happen to be the 13 families, and that they also have an experiment for that when it comes to like cancer, and that the Awake experiment was kind of, produced somewhere around 2016 when the Great Awakening was happening, and a lot of people were talking about that, which is super weird, right? But then it gets a little creepier because we start to get into the esoteric and the ancient religions and knowledge. And at CERN, you see this 2-meter tall statue of the god of Shiva. Now, what's really interesting is that was actually gifted to them by the Indian government because CERN and India have a scientific kind of like link when it comes to knowledge and all of that stuff. But this is where it starts to get interesting. That god is the god of destruction, of ego and that stuff. And it's also the rebirth god of, after destruction, which is like, why is that at CERN? Like, they're colliding particles and they're trying to find the God particle, and that's where this book comes in. The Hermetic Code in DNA, The Sacred Principles in the Ordering of the Universe by Michael Hayes. Now, quick summary of the book is basically the book suggests that DNA is more than just biological blueprint. It may also carry symbolic or coded information that connects to universal principles described in Hermetic philosophy. The author explores parallels between modern science and esoteric ideas, proposing that life operates according to deeper patterns that link mind, matter, and consciousness. Where does CERN come into that? Well, basically, they are trying to find that link on a subatomic level, but they also are saying that most of this is just kind of rediscovering of what the ancients already knew.